close my... Oh, we are two different songs right there.
Dude, you don't remember that song?
No, I know. You were doing Leaving, and I was doing I Never Want to Close My Eyes.
What's up, Zoners? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard. Youth and Wolf coming at you live from the West Coast. And this is the Fantasy Red Zone, man. Today, we've got questions. Vegas has got answers. We're going to be using that cheat code that is Vegas to answer our most important fantasy football questions, man. One of them is Tez Johnson. I'm a Baker Mayfield owner. Do I pick him up? Can I start him this week? So, major waiver wire pickups, maybe some bounce back players like George Kittle, maybe we'll talk about. So anyways, big show today, Jason. But before we get into all that, I was supposed to check to see if there was any news, but I got caught up watching the Vikings getting their ass kicked, dude. Their offensive line is so bad, Jason. It is insane. But Jason, before we get into all that, please tell the public how they can help the show, because that's exactly what we need.
Yes, if you guys can go ahead and smash that like, and if you're new to the show, if you could please hit the subscribe. It pushes us out to more people. We're also on the radio, on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, so make sure to check us out there. Give us a little follow. We got a thank you button on all of our videos if you're feeling friendly. Back to you.
Back to you. Jason, do you know of any big news off the top of your head? Because I'm not going to worry about it if not.
Big news. Josh Downs looks like he's going to play, and Tyrod Taylor got hurt.
Jonathan Taylor did?
Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, yeah, I saw that because he was... Yeah, I picked him up in our Dynasty League or something like that. I tried to. Anyways, I should have drafted more people in our Dynasty League. Jason, more quarterbacks.
Well,
it's insane.
I'll tell you this right now. I'll ask you this question. If Justin Fields has to start because Taylor's out, would you start him against the Bengals?
Yeah, I mean, I would think that his floor is going to be like 12, 14, 15 points, and Joe Flacco has been moving the ball. Sauce Gardner, I'm pretty sure, is out. So, I mean, garbage time, Jason, against the Bengals. Yeah, dude. And they can't stop running backs anyways. He's kind of a running back. So I would start him. It's just like Justin Fields. Right when you give up on him, he'll have a huge game.
I know. Because I got Drake May against the Browns.
Oh. So you're actually thinking about that, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you could get away from Drake May, though, right now. I would probably just take the floor with Drake May.
Okay.
All right, dog. You can see this. I started sharing our first question. And I spoke about Tez Johnson into existence because we're going to talk about him right now. Jason, the first question is, Tez, I know you like these long ones. I know you love them. Tez thinks he is the MVP. Will he continue to blow up like TNT, or will he just be bad at fantasy?
Oh.
I'm a poet and a scholar, Jason. Over and under reception. So I'm wondering, dude, touchdowns in two of the last 3 weeks. He has been counted on, and he has looked explosive with the ball in his hands. So he's got a lot of big play potential, and he's showed it off. And Baker Mayfield needs it going against the Saints, dude. So there should be a lot of scoring potential here, dude. I know it is a division matchup, and division matchups are always kind of weird. But still, over and under on receptions at 3.5. He's averaging 1.7, but if you talk about like his last 3 weeks when he's been needed, 4 receptions in 2 of the last 3, and then 9 targets last week. I would take the over on receptions for Tez Johnson this week, Jason. Over and under for receiving yards is at 41.5, averaging 28.3, and it surpassed the over and under in all 3 of the last games. That is a huge over against the Saints for me. I think that's one of my favorite bets of the week, if I had to guess. Over and under longest reception at 22.5 yards. Like I said, that explosive play potential. He has receptions of 27 plus in 2 of the last 3, and that other one was a 22-yard reception. So I would take the over on this as well. Anytime touchdown, Jason. Oh, I forgot to do the odds on touchdown, but these are not good odds for touchdowns. This is like, I don't know, 15% or something like that. Plus 310 touchdowns in each of the last 2 games. So I would not mind betting on that, but Vegas does not think he's going to score a touchdown this game. Over and under game point total 46.5. So a medium scoring game. All right. We want 50 plus with Saints getting 4.5 points. So, I mean, more than a field goal. So they think it's going to be a closer game. So Tez Johnson should be involved. Baker Mayfield should be throwing, he shouldn't be slowing down because they're up by a lot and running the ball is what I'm trying to say. It's hard for me to think right now. I was just watching the Vikings get annihilated, man.
Yeah, it looks like Carson Wentz just got hurt.
I was thinking, Jason, I was like, man, JJ McCarthy must be so bad that they don't want to put him in. I know he's coming back from injury and stuff, but Carson Wentz has been playing terrible, like the second worst quarterback play. But then I was watching this offensive line. I have not been able to watch a lot of the Vikings this year. Dude, I wouldn't start JJ McCarthy either with this offensive line. So I think that's more of it. It's not more of a JJ McCarthy being a bad thing. I think it's the offensive line being bad. So they don't want to throw him to that.
Yeah, and that sucks because they were going into the seasons projected as like the fifth
top
best
7 or some shit. Yeah, I know, dude.
But yeah, Tez Johnson. I was trying to pick him up off our waivers because I wanted to play him. I watched the game. Was it last Monday against the Lions? Because I had Shepard, and Shepard actually had like 5 receptions, which I was like, okay, but dude, he had 5 receptions for 29 yards.
Yeah, it's a different type. It's like floor and ceiling.
I was like, that is crazy. He got me 7 points with 5 receptions. So I was looking, I was like, dude, Tez Johnson, I feel like he's starting to be like Baker Mayfield's starting to be more comfortable throwing him the ball. So I tried to get him in the waiver this week. So because I would play him this week, even though it looks like. But I like the long reception at 22 yards because with his speed and his agility, like 22 yards, he could probably break it off even longer for a long touchdown.
So you like that the best? You don't like you don't think he's going to get 4 receptions? I like the receiving yards, 41.5. Like I said, he surpassed that all 3 games where he's been involved. He's going to be involved again. So I think I like that with the one the most. But yeah, I think Vegas is underestimating on everything, man. For Tez Johnson,
Chris Godwin still isn't practicing, I believe.
Yeah, and then Mike Evans, broken collarbone. So
yeah, he's out.
So we're looking at maybe 4 receptions and 4 4 points from receiving yards. In a full PPR, that's 8 points. And then Vegas doesn't think he's going to score a touchdown. So Vegas thinks he is a bottom, a bottom tier flex option. But if he does catch a touchdown, he will be a bottom, a low end wide receiver too. Jason, would you be comfortable starting him in your flex this week? I would because of the buys, dude.
Yes, that's what I've tried to pick him up so I can start him in my roster this week because I'm dealing with all sorts of shit. But
dude,
I was not able to.
Who's not dealing with all sorts of shit? Jason is the person I'm going against. No buys. I was like, oh my god, I got Jahmyr Gibbs and Brian Thomas Jr. Maybe that's a godsend. But all right, Jason. So Tez thinks he's the MVP. Will he continue to blow up like TNT? Vegas says no. We have a gut feeling. Flex worthy. All right, Jason, let's get into your question. Your first one. I did not even read this. I just copied and pasted it real quick.
Good.
Does Josh impersonate Tim Allen and gain more power? After their bye week? Oh my god, dude. Does Josh impersonate Tim Allen and gain more power? More power? Yeah, okay. Hey man, that show holds up. I can't even do it, man.
Yeah, I can't either.
Hey, but go back and watch that show, man. That show still holds up. That Malcolm in the Middle. Hell yeah. So, Jason, I'm looking at this. Rushing yards, 3 points for a floor. That is not bad at all. Rushing attempts is at 6.5. Passing touchdowns is at 1.5. So that's the same as like Joe Flacco. That's like average. Only one quarterback was getting 2.5, and that was
like Joe
Burrow. Yeah. So that's anything. And then anytime touchdown score, yeah, dude, plus 100, plus 2,200 3 touchdowns. In general, that'd be worth gambling on, Jason. I think that he's worth 3 touchdowns. And then over and under for the passing attempts, Jason, at 30.5. That's better than like a Jalen Hurts. It's like 2 more passing attempts. 229. Oh, man, I like how you did this. 9 points. Passing and rushing yards over and under at 263. So they think that the rushing yards is going to be like 40 yards. So you're getting like 4 points. Oh, shit, you're doing that right here. Oh, 30 yards. Jason, I didn't even notice you did that. So you got 3 points. You got 7 points. You got 16 points. Oh, my God, you did that right there at the bottom.
Yep.
I was all doing that by my head. I'm glad I got it right because otherwise I would look like a fool.
Yeah, with only 1 touchdown, they're projecting him to get 16 points. Which, with this matchup after a bye week, I'm going to take the over on most of these. I didn't even think on the rushing yards he'll get over 30. Two passing touchdowns.
Oh, continue on, Jason. Sorry.
Oh, and then even his passing attempts. The Bills, they actually have a good offensive line when it comes to yards before contact, but the Panthers' defensive line for yards before contact is really good. It's actually one of the best in the league. So there might not be a lot of James Cook, and what's his name? Josh Allen's going to have to do everything.
Dude, Josh Allen, 15 points last week, 19 points. Then, normal. But yeah, he's had an 11-point game at Carolina. I saw the over and under for this game is what? I think Carolina's only got 4 points. So Vegas actually thinks it's a close game? Or no, Carolina gets 7.5 points, I'm pretty sure. And I actually almost like that bet. Josh Allen only has been thrown for 180 yards, 253, 209, 213, 148, Jason. Like, his yardage has been pretty bad. And now he's going against Carolina, who doesn't give up a lot of passing yardage. So we're looking at passing yards at 227. I think that's a pretty good over and under. I would take the under on that, Jason. Do you like any of these bets when you're looking at these?
I'm willing to take the over on it because they're coming off the bye week. I think Josh Allen's going to come out there prepared.
Man, I'm just like looking at his passing totals right now, and they've been running the ball a hell of a lot more.
That's why they're not going to be able to run the ball against the Panthers. The Panthers have one of the best defensive lines when it comes to yards before contact.
40, dude. He's got 42 plus rushing yards in each of the last 3 games.
Yeah, that's why I said I think he's going to get more than 30 rushing yards.
I think my favorite thing would be the over on the rushing yards. I give you that. I give you that, Jason. But I do think I would almost. I was thinking about this game. I think it's going to be closer than you think. I think Carolina has a chance to actually win this game, and I hate that because I wanted the Bills to win the Super Bowl this year. I thought they were. Now I don't think they are anymore. All right, Jason. So anything else to add about Josh Allen?
Nope.
So does Josh Allen impersonate Tim Allen and get all that power? Heidi the chick, and then I forget who's Al something was
Al Borland.
Al Borland. So he will gain more power. He will be a starting. Well, you're going to start him no matter what. Jason, do you think he's going to be a top 5? Do you think he's going to be a top 5 quarterback this week?
Ooh, top 5? I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. Top 5, top 10.
I don't think so.
Not top 5.
I think he's going to get. I mean, like I said, I've been starting every week. I think he's going to get 20 points or below. So he's going to be an average quarterback. He's not going to go nuclear like he does sometimes. All right, Jason. Next up, question number 3. Did I do this right? Oh, yeah. Can Kittle regain top TE status, or will his stats disappoint us? Over and under, Jason. This was huge for me. I can't believe he only had 2 targets on and 0 yards, 0 receptions for 0 yards. Now, you saw the stats that he like the yards before contact with running backs, Jason. Like, it increased greatly with George Kittle back.
Dude, it did. It did. They had their best week last week with him back for the yards before contact. Good call on that.
Right. So, just because he had a bad game for fantasy, he had a really good game in real life. Like, as far as coming off an injury, I thought that was great. So I'm actually encouraged by that at least a little bit. You had to eat that one game. But, Jason, does Vegas think that, he's gonna bounce back? His over and under for receptions at 4.5. He had 4 receptions early in week 1, I think in the first quarter, but then 0 receptions on 2 targets last week. I would take the over on the 4.5. I do think that Mac Jones is starting again. If it was Brock Purdy, it'd be an easy over on that. Over and under for receiving yards, Jason, at 52.5. Vegas, dude, that's pretty high. Coming off of that 0-yard game to be a 52.5 over and under. So Vegas, to me, does think that he is going to be bouncing back this week. Over and under longest reception, Vegas has at 21.5. And we do know that he is one of the few deep threat tight ends in the league. So I wouldn't mess around with that one. Anytime touchdown, Jason, plus 180. So, that's like a 20-something% chance to score a touchdown. It's not bad. That's pretty much average. 41.5. Oh, yeah. The game point total is a very low 41.5. So I would really like Kittle to get in the end zone to be a top 3 tight end this week. With the 49ers getting 2.5 points, which is surprising. I got to see who they're going against, but when I was checking this out, I was like, holy shit, man. Oh, against Houston. So Houston's actually favored this game, which surprises me, but it is at Houston. I would bet on the 49ers covering that 2.5, no problem, Jason.
I actually was just looking at the status for Brock Purdy because you made a good point. I think all of this would be over if Brock Purdy was playing. He was limited today in practice.
The 52.5 receiving yards actually does kind of scare me because, I mean, that's a decently high number. I do think that he will get 5 receptions because, dude, Ricky Pearsall is not practicing today. They've been just thrown to whatever. I'm going against Kendrick Bourne again this week, Jason. Just watch. Oh, it's going to be terrible. But anyways, yeah, hey, go start Kendrick Bourne in all of your fantasy leagues because I am going against him, which means it is a fact. 6 of 7 weeks, Jason, I've gone against high points. So yeah, that's pretty good stats there, Jason. And then, so anyways, can Kittle regain top tight end status or will his stats disappoint us? He will regain top tight end status, says Vegas. We're talking 5 points in yards, 5 points in receptions. That's a 10-point floor with a, 30% chance, high 20% chance to score a touchdown. I'm liking it, Jason. So I think that Kittle has a good chance to be a top 3 tight end this week.
Who would you rather start, Kittle or Goderte?
Oh, I would still with that offense, man. It's like hit or miss. Which Kittle just had a huge miss. That was his floor. I would still go Kittle. You could make the argument for both, but if I was holding Kittle this entire time, I'd be starting him no problem this week.
Yeah, it's been 2 years since the last time he was held to 1 or 0 receptions.
That's insane. That's a good stat, Jason. Where'd you get that from?
The Twitter tweet.
Tweet.
Dude, that McConkey just scored like a 40-yard touchdown.
I'm watching that game and I was like, dude, I think I was wrong. I don't think Lad McConkey's dead. What's his name, Jason? I was, we were talking about how we should trade for Quentin Johnston. Now with the emergence of the tight end.
Yep.
I'm just like, holy shit.
Quentin Johnson tight end is messing everything up. I just traded for Quentin Johnson in our listener league.
Dang. So, anyways, I mean, I would still try to buy Quentin Johnson super low for super cheap because the owners are going to have to be super discouraged after this game, and they got him off of waivers anyways. So I'd still try to trade something for him. But as far as starting now, I don't think he's startable until something happens. All right, Jason. I have not read this. This is your second question. Can DeAndre Swift you away in the win? Or be stopped by Kyle, that won a guy. Can DeAndre Swift, it's like sweep you away, but it was Swift you away.
Yeah.
All right, so DeAndre Swift has been, pretty damn good over the last month. I was trying to trade for him the first couple of weeks because I thought he looked good, but then he was underperforming for a while. Almost gave up on him. His over and under, Jason, for yards is at 52.5. That is 5 points. Rushing attempts over and under at 13.5. That's all DeAndre Swift needs. He's not the 18 carry plus back. He needs that and 5 receptions. All right. Anytime score plus 130. That is really good. So it's like a 30% plus percent chance. Longest rushing over and under at 13.5. So they do think he's going to have an explosive run at least. Receptions over and under 1.5. That's what we need to be higher, Jason. Have you checked his receptions over the last couple games?
Yeah, last week it was only 1. The weeks before that, he's averaging between 3 and 4.
I thought he was in the 3 and 4 category.
Yeah.
So we're looking at receptions over and under. I like the over on that because the game script, right? Didn't Chicago jump out big last week?
Yes.
And then because I was like, Mononagawa was getting a ton of work when they were up, I thought. But maybe I was.
I wanted to look at this because Mononagawa had 13 carries.
Right, but again, I thought it was game script for when I was doing the waiver wire show. But anyways, I do think that is this absolute floor minimum was last week. Chicago's not going to be blowing anybody out or being up by 2 scores all the time.
Oh, they played the Saints last week.
Yeah, they blew them out for a while, and then Olave started catching a bunch of touchdowns. So
26-14.
Yeah. So I think that Chicago's not going to dominate that much. I mean, we could even look at the over and under for this game and see who scored.
Well, Mononagawa also had a goal line touchdown. So if anything, it was 19-14 at that point.
Yeah, and with Lamar Jackson playing this week, Jason, the over and under for this game is at almost 50. So that's great. And then Chicago's actually getting a touchdown, 6.5 points. So we're looking at them coming from behind most of the game. Look for DeAndre Swift to hit the over on 1.5 receptions. I think that's one of my favorite bets of the week.
Yeah, he's going to get more than just one reception. I have a feeling that the Ravens are going to come out blazing hot with Lamar Jackson back. And I think Lamar Jackson had full participation in practice.
And Jason, you're looking at, when you look at 6.5 points, so 5 points from rushing yards, but he does have a good chance to score a touchdown. Again, probably more than a 1 in 3 chance, and then maybe 2 receptions. So we're looking at maybe 7 points, 6.5 points, but that is not with the receiving yards. So if we had the receiving yards out here with that 1.5, I bet you'd only be at like 15.5. So maybe another point. So Vegas has him almost 8 points without a touchdown, Jason. I still think that he is a great flex option, and I still think that he's a running back too. So I think that Vegas is underestimating him on a lot of stuff. I think he's going to hit over on a lot of this.
Yeah, for the year, he's averaging 14 carries a game, and now he's going up against the Ravens' rushing defense. That's just horrible. The Ravens give up the second most points to running backs. I think I'm willing to take the over on rushing yards, on anytime score, on receptions.
I would do receptions and receiving yards would be my favorite.
Yeah, I think he has a good chance of having another good game. I just wanted to see what they thought about with Kyle, that one guy, scooping up 13 carries last week.
So, can DeAndre Swift you away with the win? Vegas says no, but Jason, I still think that he is a running back 2 and an amazing flex option. So I think that's 2 players in a row that we are kind of thinking Vegas is a little bit low on. All right, Jason. Next question. Oh, yeah. Do I have this? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm interested about Flacco because everybody that probably picked him off the waiver wire, should you be able to start him as your quarterback, man? We saw this last year or a couple of years ago with the Browns. He was amazing. He was quarterback 3 over the last 4 weeks of the year. So will Flacco rain down fantasy points, or will he just have sore joints? Jason? Over and under passing yards, 244.5. That's a lot, all right? That is the 5th highest for a quarterback this week. He has had 219 passing yards his first start with the Bengals, and then he blew up for 342 last week. Over and under passing touchdown is at 1.5. 2+ touchdowns in both starts with the Bengals. I actually really like that. The over on that. Over and under interceptions, 0.5. Man, he was giving up so many interceptions on the Browns. It was like two interceptions, 1 interception, 2 interceptions, 1 interception. And then 0 so far with Cincinnati. And I'm looking at the point total, right? It's going against the Jets. Without Sauce Gardner, by the way. So over and under game for the game total is it average. It's not anything that I like, 44.5. The Jets are getting 6.5 points. So the problem here is that the touchdown right now, Vegas thinks that Jets are going to get dominated pretty much by Cincinnati. So Flacco's going to have to be throwing the ball the whole game because he's not a running quarterback. So hopefully he will. But again, he's projected for the 5th highest yards by Vegas this week. And he's got 2+ passing touchdowns in each of the last week, Jason. So will Flacco rain down fantasy points? He will, and he will also have sore joints. But Vegas does agree with me, thinks he's going to be more than start worthy. So if I had Joe Flacco, I would start him over Carson Wentz, Tyrod Taylor, and some others.
Yeah, I have him in our Dynasty League. I had to pick him up. And I'm starting him this week. It's crazy. My 2 quarterbacks are probably going to be Lamar Jackson and Joe Flacco. Yeah, and the Jets are actually in the middle of the pack for points allowed by quarterbacks and passing touchdowns this year with 13. That's in the middle of the pack too.
But missing Sauce Gardner is just so big. So
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Especially with Jamar Chase there, dude.
Yeah, but Jamar Chase could just help out Joe Flacco so much and just get 150 yards, 200 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Flacco. So,
all right, Jason. Question number 3 from Jason: does Derrick Henry and the Ravens get in sync, returning from their bye? That was good. Bye. I don't want to be a fool for you. Something for this thing for two. All right. Dirty pop.
Bro, I try to look at these at work, and then I'll just like crack up over the shit I come up with, and people are just looking at me like I'm crazy.
Well, don't worry, I'm just making a TV show later, and they're like, "What the?"
Yeah, I'm almost in there like whispering, like "bye, bye, bye." I like that. I'm gonna put that in.
That's good, Jason. Get in sync because they need to be. It works on both levels. Rushing yards, dog. 91.5 points. I had the opportunity to trade Brian Thomas Jr. for Derrick Henry, and I was like, I need to win now. And Derrick Henry was having his bye. I should have done the trade, Jason. Maybe I'll try to trade again, but BTJ's on a bye, so not going to happen. Anytime touchdown score, 195 plus 190. Oh, minus 195, Jason? Or is it plus 195?
Plus 195.
Okay, I was like, dude.
Sorry.
So, I mean, 30% chance to score a touchdown, something like that. Rushing attempts at 18.5, Jason. So we're looking at what we love. We love the rushing attempts. We love the yardage. And then the longest rush at 19.5. Holy shit. 15 points with a touchdown? So you're saying 15 points with a touchdown? Okay.
Yeah,
without a touchdown. Okay, with a touchdown.
15 points with a touchdown. Sorry, with a touchdown.
Yeah, and I was like, I mean, how many receptions has that fool been getting lately? I don't even know.
I think it's all been going to Justice Hill, to be honest, because they've been trailing a lot.
And right now, Baltimore is favored by a touchdown, so they should be a positive game script, which Derrick Henry really does need, Jason. So things are setting up nice.
5 reception out of 6 games.
Yeah. Okay. So he needs to be. He's kind of game script dependent right now, which sucks. And with that quarterback that they had before, he was going to be in negative game scripts every single game. So now Lamar's back. He should have a positive game script. Look for him to have a huge game. Does Derrick Henry and the Ravens get in sync, returning from their bye, Jason? Vegas says yes, and so do we.
Yeah, part of the reason why I wanted to look at this is because the week 6, I think his over and under was only 60 yards. And I was like, holy crap. And like, so you go for, and he went 122 yards on 24 attempts, but he didn't get the touchdown. So he only had 12 points. That touchdown is going to be crucial if you're not really involved in the rushing receiving game as much.
Correct. All right. I think this is my last one, Jason. How will Dowdle and Chuba be used? Dowdle, so I didn't really do too much. I didn't want to get into it. I just want to look at it with at one game at a time, right? One game at a time. He just came out of Chuba just came back from injury last week, and Rico Dowdle, his efficiency has been amazing. So I just kind of want to see what Vegas thought. Who's going to get more touches? But who do they think is going to be more efficient as well? Who has the best chance to score a touchdown? So those are the things that we're looking for, because I probably wouldn't want to start one of these running backs, but I think one of these other running backs is worth a flex. So we're trying to sniff out the flex here, Jason. Sniff out the flex. Should be the name of the show. Dowdle over and under rushing attempts at 11.5. That is the same. So both are projected to get 11.5 rushing attempts. So 10 or 12 out there. No, 11 or 12. Oh my God. Rushing yards, though, just like it has been, Dowdle is supposed to be more efficient with that and get like 8 more yards. Receptions, though, Dowdle's only at 1.5. Hubbard is projected to get 1 more reception, so 1 more PPR point to Hubbard. But the big one for me is here, because it's going to be red zone usage, goal line usage, and just maybe explosive plays in general, because we've been seeing what Dowdle's been doing. His anytime touchdown is like, pretty damn good at 30% or better. And then Hubbard's down there like below 20%, 20% or lower. So Vegas thinks that Hubbard will get 1 more touch. Dowdle will get much more, yardage in general as far as total yards, and have the much better chance to score a touchdown. The over and under for this game, Jason, is at 45.5, with the Panthers getting 7.5 points. So they're supposed to get dominated by Buffalo Bills. I think that does hurt Dowdle, because Hubbard is viewed more as a pass catching running back. But again, if I did have Rico Dowdle, I would lean towards him this week, getting more fantasy points.
Hubbard is good. Dowdle is better. So even
no doubt.
1 less attempt. This is also a good matchup. If they can keep it close to the Bills, like the Bills' run defense is kind of garbage. They last time they played, who was it? The Falcons. Oh, dude, and then Bijan ran all over them.
They haven't been able to stop the run since like Milano got injured like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago.
Yeah. You could run on the Bills. And if it's close, they're going to use the running backs. And I have Dowdle, and I have no problem starting him this week in the listener league.
Man, Jordan Mason's going to get 1 point this week, Jason. It's going to be great. Okay. Last question, Jason. So how will Dowdle and Chuba be used? Pretty damn equal, but the red zone, the most important touches will go to Dowdle. So lean Dowdle. No doubt. All right, Jason.
No Dowdle.
Question number 4 from Jason. I see remember and forget. Oh, God. Will we, oh my God, I can't even speak. Will we remember this week 8 game of Xaiver Legette, or will we forget? You should write speeches, Jason, for motivational. We'll never forget.
We'll never forget.
I forget what that was. Where were you when the West Gates fell?
Where were you when the West Gates fell? Yeah. Where was Gundor?
Yeah, where was Gundor?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Anyways, let's look at this. So, anytime touchdown score, Jason plus 300. That is no good. Vegas thinks he's not going to score a touchdown. He's like, they say hell no to that. Receiving yards over and under, dude. 32.5. He had like 90 something receiving yards last week. And a lot of it, I want to say a lot of it came with Andy Dalton. And isn't Andy Dalton who's starting this week, Jason? Isn't Andy Dalton?
I think it's supposed to be Dalton.
That's what I thought. I've been worried about other shit, but I remember hearing that and seeing that. Receptions over and under at 3.5. That fool had like all the targets last week. So if Dalton starts, Jason, I'm taking the over on all of this. Coker did play last week, but Legette had all the draft capital, and he looked a lot better, man. Longest reception over and under at 16.5 yards, so 6.5 yards without a touchdown. So 3 points from receptions, 3 points from yardage. Maybe you get to 7 points if you hit the over on receptions. And Vegas does not think he's going to score a touchdown, so Vegas thinks that we will forget Xaiver Legette, Jason.
I remember when Andy Dalton was the backup quarterback for the Cowboys, and the one person he always threw the ball to the most was the wide receiver 2 on the team when he had to play. So, yeah, I think if it's Dalton playing, Legette's going to, be on the over in all of these. Even maybe a touchdown. I don't know, though. But I don't feel confident. I would not play Legette.
But again, they're supposed to be dominated. There should be a pass-heavy game for Carolina. So, I mean, you're even looking at, both of the Panthers running backs were projected to get like maybe 22 carries. So 22, maybe you're looking at Vegas thinks Carolina's going to have like below 25 rushes in total, which means they're going to throw the ball like 35 plus times. So I'm thinking that, I don't know, man. I would take the over on this, but it is so scary to bet on Carolina wide receivers right now, especially with the quarterback change. I'd probably want to just save my money for other bets.
And people are saying right now that King Ted is a sell high or a sell low too.
Yeah, well, I've been watching the games, man, and he went from the most targeted wide receiver to not the most targeted wide receiver. Even that J.C. Horn was coming, and he was lucky he caught 2 touchdowns the other week. Otherwise, that would have been a terrible week as well. So I really like King Tet, man, but Bryce Young was just playing so bad. So hopefully Dalton can do something for King Tet because I'm starting him this week.
Do you feel comfortable starting Legette?
I mean, this week, dude, like if I had him on my team, because I started Vidal, which is fine. I forget which wide receiver I'm starting in my I'm in the Big Turd Clubhouse right now, Jason. I could look right now. I was gonna say, which wide receiver am I starting over this? Oh, Calvin Ridley, Jason. I mean, who would I rather start, Calvin Ridley or Xaiver Legette? Probably Calvin Ridley.
I don't even think Ridley's going to play. He's
questionable, Jason, which means I've got hope. Hey, man, I'm in buy hell right now, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Jordan Mason has 1 point. Kamani Vidal has 8. Halftime, so we need Jordan Mason to do something, but dude, that offensive line looks so bad. They're not going to do anything. It's crazy how what'd you say?
I was going to say Joel Alt came back, and now they're just throwing the ball wherever they want to.
It made a big difference, but still, like Yeah, because the Chargers' defensive line and offensive line looked so bad last week, and now they look amazing versus my Vikings. Holy shit, man! Took a huge step back this year. Anyways, I'll stop sharing, Jason. Woo! That is a show. Hey, if you got any players that you want us to look over, maybe some Vegas odds on, do some research on, give you our opinions, please comment down below. Hopefully we earned a thumbs up, man. Hopefully we earned a subscription. That's exactly what this show needs right now. We need subscribers. Tell your mom and your dad and your sister and your uncles. Actually, don't talk to any of those people. Jason, please send us out.
And the redhead stepchild. they're people too. Let them
you watching
know.
football right now?
All right. So when this video comes out the next day, we also got our live rankings where we go over our rankings for Week 8. Come join us, drink some beer, talk some shop, ask some questions, and then later that night we got the offense line, defense line report to help you decide which running back to start for Week 8 during Buy Mageddon. It's an important week. Make sure to cash that. I will check you guys, or I'll talk to you guys in those videos. Deuces.
Is Buy Mageddon next week?
It's this week.
That's what I feel like. All right, cool. Okay, that's cool. Maybe I'll go and watch maybe I'll go watch Bruce Willis blow up some asteroids. Jason.
Armageddon.
Leaving.
I never want to close my... Oh, we are two different songs right there.
Dude, you don't remember that song?
No, I know. You're doing Leaving, and I was doing I never want to close my eyes.
Yeah, I did the good one.
Hey, mine was a Grammy winner.
Pearl Harbor's probably your favorite movie, Jason.
I just wanted them to be happy and in love, bro. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, we're still talking. We're still on the camera. This is Fantasy Red Zone. We appreciate you.